Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome you to We Love Metal. We're very honored to be on the line with Jason from Back from Ashes, a band that we just discovered, and very pleased to be talking to you tonight.
Oh, I'm doing good, man. Hold on one second. I got a fire truck going right next to me. They must have found that body. I'm doing all right, man. How are you?
Good stuff. Congratulations on 261. You guys must be pretty hyped about the album.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's we had a good time recording that for sure.
How did the project come together?
All together, or the album itself?
The album itself.
Oh, well, we felt that it was time to do a new album. So, our fans out there. It's been a while. We dropped the EP about 6 months previous to the album being released, and we needed to get something out there, something new for the fans to listen to. So that's exactly what we did. Busted our butts and got it done.
You must be quite happy with the response that it's received so far.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we couldn't be happier.
I know that your management hasn't had a chance to read our review yet, but I will say it's quite favorable, so you have no fear on our end.
Well, that's good.
Most importantly, where can people go to pick this thing up?
Say that again?
Where can people go to pick the album up?
Oh, man, anywhere. iTunes, CD Baby, any of your online. Right now, it's all online distribution right now. We did a little bit of our own research. Turns out that, about 90% of sales are all digital these days. So we do have hard copies available, and they can just hit us up on backfromashes.com. We can get it over to them. But it's pretty much a digital distribution thing.
Perfect. Well, I'll tell you, to get right into it, the thing that strikes me is your guys' ability to blend styles. I mean, I've got metalcore, thrash, classic heavy metal, industrial. Is this based on your influences, or just every member of the band wants a different contribution?
It's funny. We all do have a very diverse background as far as what our influences are. So it really is a product of what that is. We all come from a different, some of us come from a different time. Some of us, listen to different things. So we get this melding pot of genres, and it kind of makes it unique, which is why, I think that to date, we've been successful with the style of music that we're doing.
Definitely. With that, obviously the biggest thing that strikes me with the band is your voice. I mean, you're going from a scream to a gentle, clean vocal. Where'd you learn how to do that?
It was by accident. It's funny. I was in my first band when I was 12, and it was this like thrash death metal thing, and I was, and started kind of doing that thing, and then I got into this like rock thing, and then kind of decided that I wasn't really good at either one. So, but I was really good at doing both at the same time. So I just kind of blended what I did, in my past, and kind of tried to make it a little more relevant to what's going on today, and it just happened to work out.
So can you confirm for our listeners there is one vocalist you are doing both parts?
I am.
Because believe it or not, there is online debate whether you cover both parts of it.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
That's too funny, man. Yeah, no, I do both parts in the studio. Some of the gang vocals that you hear, like where it sounds like a bunch of people, that's the whole band. But live, my guys pick up the slack for me and do some of the screaming because there's just not enough time in between a certain part to be able to switch over right away. But I do scream and sing live, and my boys help me out.
Awesome. Now, you guys have the something for everyone is how I refer to it, and that can be extremely dangerous. I mean, is it something that you're worried about?
No, and that's the whole reason. Music, no matter what genre you're in, somebody's not going to like it. And, we're not afraid to push the envelope as far as that goes, because at the end of the day, we like what we do. And it's up to the fans to respond accordingly or to not like what we do, and that's okay, because, like I said, music as a whole is not, you can't win them all. If there'd be a lot more platinum records out there if you could. So we just do what we do best, which is Back from Ashes, and hopefully people people love it, and if they don't, that's okay. There's another band out there for them.
Definitely, very well said. I'm going to push the envelope a little bit myself. I'm going to ask you about a specific song, which I don't normally do. So, When You Fall is the one I want to talk about off of 261. It has the qualities of a very good ballad, but you guys changed the pace up, and it's a big surprise. It really surprised me. Are you purposely trying to keep the listener on edge, make sure they're paying attention to what's going on?
I would lie to you and say yes, but that's not really it at all. It's kind of what happens when we're creating. We like to stay, we don't want to be formulaic by any means, but we can't be chaotic either. So we have to kind of take the best of both worlds. And, when we surprise ourselves, then that to me says, all right, that's awesome, because then the fan is going to get that same kind of, emotion out of it. So we don't really say, okay, we're going to write a ballad, or we're going to write a hard song, and something you can mosh to or anything like that. We just write, and we write what comes from our soul and what we're feeling at the time. We're a very emotionally driven band, and as far as music goes, we take it from, the depths of our soul, and we put it into the singing and the guitar playing and the drumming, and everybody in our band has to feel what we're doing. We're kind of we like to collaborate on everything and make sure that everybody's happy, which is a really difficult thing to do when you've got 5 guys. But we do our best to make it happen, and sometimes it just comes out the way it comes out.
And you know what, Jason, you segued perfect into me, because I wanted to just mention that Pull the Trigger. It seems like you guys are having such a good time on that song. Just a good jamming
yeah.
song.
Well, Pull the Trigger is an interesting song. It's just kind of a big middle finger to all the politics that are involved in music. And, for average listener out there, they don't truly, and I wouldn't expect them to understand the political side of what it is to be a musician and all the hurdles that you have to go through, and, the ups and the downs and things like that. And Pull the Trigger is just kind of a representation of what that is.
It's very well said.
It's just getting that out there and saying, God, it's tough. We love every second of it. And I think Bret Michaels said it, to make an even crazier reference, but best is that music's a bitch, but you love her,
Now, God forbid that the band were to end tomorrow, but if it did, what would you want people to say? Say about the band, about what you've left behind.
Right. Honestly, that thought just doesn't ever come across my mind, and it's not an option. I think every one of us would kill the other if somebody said we're done.
You like to collaborate, so.
Yeah. And I think at the end of the day, is that, I want people to say that, for an unsigned band, they sure as hell made an impact, and, did better than most signed bands that I've heard. And that they had a good time seeing it and enjoy the album. It's something that they listen to, for a long time.
And I'll tell you something that strikes me about the band in general is what you do for your fans. That must be so important to you, because, I've read that you guys take personal time to, put aside to contact your fans in different ways. And how did that come
Absolutely.
about?
Well, at the end of the day, brother, you could be the best band in the world. If nobody knows who you are, then you're the best band in the world that nobody ever heard of. And a lot of people forget that it takes, everybody behind you to make you successful. And fans are the most important part of that piece. Without our fans, we're truly nothing. We're just another band in a garage trying to play music and thinking that we're badass and nobody else can enjoy that, And so, our fans mean the world to us, because without them, we don't have Back from Ashes. We don't have that. We have a hobby then.
And they obviously respond, because you guys have street teams that actually show production numbers.
Yeah. Yeah, we are blessed, man. We are definitely blessed with the people that are around us, and, from our producer and manager to our publicist, to our street teams, to our fans. We couldn't ask for better. It's a lot of hard work, but that hard work is just so worth it at the end.
And part of that hard work you guys do is you have a massive presence online, especially with social media. Uh, to other bands out there, how important is social media to them?
Oh, it's absolutely important. I think I said it earlier in the interview that, 90% of your sales are digital media. And digital is, it's all online, which all your social networking, social media is all online. So, it's absolutely important. I think you'll die a quick, painful death, if that's an oxymoron, but if you don't do that. You have to.
Well, I'm going to ask this to you straight, and there's no offense intended at all, but intended. Why is Back from Ashes not on a major label?
It's a tough industry out there, bro, and there's a lot of things that have to be done. It's very reminiscent of the early '80s when it was really tough, to get picked up as a rock artist. Where everything was kind of pop generated. Back then, it's kind of reverted back to that kind of hip-hop pop thing where, is Back from Ashes a safe bet in a label's eyes? Like you said earlier, it can be very dangerous to be playing something for everybody. And, I think that in today's music industry, it's a very, very tough market right now. It's not enough to be a great band. It's not enough to have a lot of online presence. You've got to show how many records you sold. And in an industry where the records have died, it's tough to do, especially when you've got digital media going. So, we do our best, and we've had people sniff around, and the offers weren't anything that I would say is good.
Yeah.
I remember an offer, similar to, $10,000 to go out on the road for 3 months, record an album, and market. And I'm like, okay, I can piss away $10,000 on half an album.
Easily, yeah.
So, some of these record labels definitely need to wake up. You got to spend money to make money, and you look at today's pop industry, and you look at what's going on in hip hop and things like that. Nothing against them, of course, but you shove it down people's faces and you put all that money behind the marketing machine, people are going to buy it. I can say to quite a few bands that just aren't worthy of what they've got, but brilliant marketing.
That's it. And now you're back to the early '80s, exactly.
Yep, exactly. Everything's cyclical. And things, everything happens. Every 20 years. It kind of reverts back to what it is, fashion, everything.
Well, I'm going to wrap up with a question, Jason, that we asked every band that we've ever interviewed. Living or dead, past or present, doesn't matter who it is, who would you love to share the stage with?
Oh, wow. That's a tough one, man. There's so many. Honestly, it's not a genre mix at all. But I'll tell you what, man, it would have been a blast to play with Elvis. You know what I mean? That would have been amazing. And even more so, or equally so, the Beatles.
That will go down as the greatest answer ever. I guarantee it.
Right on.
I thought Jethro Tull was good, but that's really good.
Thanks.
Well, Back from the Ashes, Jason, 261 is out now. They can pick it up on any of the, just type it in Google. You guys are everywhere. I want to thank you for doing this.
Oh, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you taking the time out, too.